Hello students. In this video, we will be solving Mathematics Syllabus D, Paper 1 from October-November 2016, Variant 2. Calculator is not permitted in this paper. Now let's look into the first question. It says, evaluate 9.03 minus 4.273 plus 2.3. So first we need to do the sum that is within the brackets, and that will give us 6.573, and subtracting it from 9.03 will give us 2.457. Then we need to evaluate 8 over 9 minus 6 over 7. So the LCM for 9 and 7 will be 63, and 8 sevens are 56 minus 6 nines are 54. So that will give us 2 over 63. Question number 2. Given that 192 times 64.3 is equal to 12345.6, write down the values of 0.192 times 643. So, in order to solve this, what we need to do, we need to manipulate the value that has been already provided in the question. So I have written 192 times 64.3, which was already given in the question. To convert 192 into 0.192, we need to divide this by 1000, and to make 64.3 into 643, we need to multiply this value with 10. So now we can say this value, which is 192 times 64.3, which was already given in the question, will be 12345.6 over the 1000 which we have introduced in order to manipulate so that it becomes this equation. So this value over 1000 times 10, and simplifying it further, we get 12345.6 over 100. So we just need to move the decimal 2 places to the left, and that will be 123.456. Next, we need to solve this fraction, which is 12.3456 over 192. So again, we will take help from the equation which was given in the question. So we can see that if we divide 12345.6 over 192, that will give us 64.3. So I'm writing 12345.6 over 192. Now, to convert the numerator into the value which was given in the question, which is 12.3456, I need to move this decimal 3 digits to the left. That means I need to divide it by 1000. So that is how we manipulate the fraction so that it is equivalent to the question. Now we know that when we divide this value by 192, it will be giving us 64.3. And we have introduced 1000 so that this whole fraction is equivalent to this question. So we simply just need to divide 64.3 by 1000. That means we need to move this decimal 3 places to the left. Therefore, it will be 0.0643. Question number 3. In the diagram, 5 small squares are shaded. Shade one more small square so that the diagram has exactly one line of symmetry. In order to have one line of symmetry, we need to shade this specific square. By doing that, we will have the line of symmetry through this. There will be a line of symmetry along this diagonal. Then it says in the diagram, 3 small squares are shaded. Shade one more small square so that the diagram has a rotational symmetry of order 4. So if we shade this square, then it should have a rotational symmetry of order 4. If you rotate it after every 90 degrees, so the first rotational symmetry for this shape will be at 90 degree, then at 180 degree, then at 270, and then finally at 360 degree. Question number 4. The total cost of 3 pencils is $1.23. Find the total cost of 5 pencils. So I'm considering the unknown value to be x, which is the total cost of 5 pencils, and over 1.23, which is the cost of 3 pencils. So 1.23 is representing 3 pencils and the unknown cost is representing 5 pencils. Using the proportion method, I can say that x is equals to 5 times 1.23 over 3. So that will give us x is equals to 5 times 0.41, which is equals to 2.05. So that means the cost of 5 pencils will be $2.05. Then it says, arrange the following in order, starting with the smallest. So 74%, if I convert it into decimals, it will be 0.74, and minus 0.7 can also be written as minus 0.70, and 0.7, and there is a dot on top of number 7, means that this number 7 is a recurring number. So this can be written as 0.777. And then we have minus 3 over 4. Minus 3 over 4 can be written in terms of decimal will be minus 0.75. So now we can easily observe which one is the smallest. And in order to do that, my suggestion would be first look into the negative numbers first and then look into the positive numbers. So among the negative numbers, minus 0.75 is the smallest compared to 0.70. So this one is the smallest. Then we have 0.70, and then we have the positive 0.74, and then we have 0.77. I have written 1, 2, 3, 4 just for explanation reasons. You don't have to do that. So now we can arrange these numbers, and of course you need to make sure that you are writing these numbers in your answers because these are the numbers which was provided in the question. So minus 0.75 was minus 3 over 4. Minus 0.70 is a minus 0.7, and 0.74 is 74%, and 0.77 is 0.7. Question number 5. In the diagram, ABC is a straight line and BF is parallel to DE. It's given that angle FBA is equal to 74 degree and DBF is equal to 65 degree. We need to find the angle CBD. So this is the angle CBD. So this is the angle that we need to find. We can clearly see that ABC is a straight line. So if we just simply take away the values of 65 and 74 from 180, which is the angle in a straight line, that will give us the angle for CBD. So 180 minus 74 plus 65 will give us 180 minus 139, which is 41 degree. Then we need to find the reflex angle BDE. So this is the angle which we need to find because reflex angle is greater than 180 but less than 360. So in order to find this, what we can do is first find the obtuse angle over here. And we know that if two lines are parallel, then these two angles are allied angles. That means 65 plus this angle should add up to 180. Therefore, I can say that the obtuse angle BDE is 180 minus 65, which is 115. Therefore, the reflex angle should be 360 minus 115, and that will give us 245 degrees. Question number 6. By making suitable approximations, estimate the value of this fraction. Show clearly the approximations you use. So, the estimation I'm making for 3.98 is 4, and for 602.3 I'm considering that to be as 600, and 2.987 I'm considering that to be as 3. So now it will be square root of 4 is 2, and 3 times 200 is 600, so therefore it will be 2 times 200, which is 400. Question number 7. The diagram shows a triangle A. The triangle A is mapped onto triangle B by an enlargement. The enlargement has center 3, 3 and scale factor -2. We need to draw and label triangle B. So first we need to find the center, which is 3, 3, and that is over here. And since the scale factor is -2, we need to multiply it with the distances that we get from the center A. So this point, if I try to count it from the center A, I can see that this point is 1 unit to the right and then 1 unit above. So first I moved 1 unit to the right. So now I need to multiply 1 unit with -2. So that will be -2. So that means I have to move 2 units to the left. And then since I went 1 unit up, that means I need to multiply 1 unit with -2, and that will give me again -2. That means I have to move 2 units downwards. So first I went 2 units to the left, and then I need to go 2 units downwards. So the point will be here. And again for this point, I need to count from the center. So it goes 1 unit to the right and 1 unit downwards. That means, again, if we multiply with the scale factor of -2, it will come as -2 and -2. That means I have to go 2 units to the left and 2 units above. And finally, in order to reach this point, I have to move 2 units to the left and 1 unit downwards. That means I have to move 4 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 units upwards. Question number 8. Write the number 513000 in standard form. So for this, all we need to do is count how many values are there after the number 5. Since there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values, so in standard form it will be 5.13 times 10 to the power 5. Then it says, expressing your answer in standard form, evaluate 4 times 10 to the power -5 times 6 times 10 to the power -4. So 4 times 6 is 24, and since these two numbers are the same, we can add these powers because they are getting multiplied. So it will be 10 minus 5 plus -4, which is -4, and then it will give me 24 times 10 to the power -9. Now, since we need to answer in standard form, I can write 24 as 2.4 times 10 times 10 to the power -9. So now again I need to add these powers. So it will be 1 plus -9, which is -8. So in standard form, it will be 2.4 times 10 to the power -8. Question number 9. The diagram shows part of the histogram which represents the distribution of times taken by some people to travel to work. Complete the table. So these two values were not provided, so we had to find the frequency. And we know that in a frequency density histogram, the area of the bars represent the frequency. So if we look into the class width of 0 to 20, that means it represents this bar. So the area for this bar will be 20 times 1, which is 20. And the class width of 30 to 35 represents this bar. So the area of this bar will be 35 minus 30, which is 5. So 5 times the height of the bar, which is 5. So it will be 5 times 5, which is 25. Then it says complete the histogram. So only this part of the histogram was missing. So we had to find the frequency density. And in order to find the frequency density, we have used the formula, which is frequency density is equal to frequency over class width. So the frequency was given, which is 30, divided by the class width. And the class width is 50 minus 35, which is 15. Therefore, the frequency density will be 30 over 15, which is 2. So the height of the bar will be 2 units. And of course, the class width will be 35 to 50. Question number 10. It's given that f of x is equal to 4 plus 3x. We need to find f of minus 2.5. So this can be written as f of minus 2.5. So that will be 4 plus 3 times minus 2.5. 3 times minus 2.5 is minus 7.5. So 4 minus 7.5 is minus 3.5. Then we need to find the inverse of f, and we have to also substitute 5 as the value for x. So first, let's do the inverse. I'm considering y to be 4 plus 3x. Then I'll be making x the subject of the formula. So I can rewrite this equation as 3x is equal to y minus 4. So x will be equal to y minus 4 over 3. Therefore, f inverse of x is equal to x minus 4 over 3. Now we can simply substitute the value 5 into x to get this answer. So f inverse of 5 will be 5 minus 4 over 3, which is 1 over 3. Question number 11. It says y varies inversely as the square of x. And it's given that when x is equals to 2, y is equals to 9. We need to find the value of y when x is equals to 3. So according to the question, y is equal to k over x square, where k is a constant. And we need to substitute these values in order to find k. So 9 is equals to k over 2 square. 2 square is 4 and 9 times 4 is 36. Therefore, k is equals to 36. Now we can rewrite the equation as y is equals to 36 over x square. Now we need to find the value of y when x is equals to 3. So now we can say that y is equals to 36 over 3 square. 3 square is 9 and 36 over 9 is 4. Therefore, y is equals to 4. Next question. When x is equals to n, y is equals to p. Write down an expression for y in terms of p when x is equals to 2n. Since this is a sub-question, we again need to look into the original question, which is y varies inversely as the square of x. So this will also be y is equals to k over x square. And we need to now substitute these values of x and y to find the value of k. So we can say p is equals to k over n square. Therefore, k is equals to n square p. So we can now rewrite the equation as y is equals to n square p over x square. That is the value of k which we just found. Now all we need to do is substitute the value of x, which is 2n, in this equation to get the expression for y in terms of p. So y is equals to now n square p over 2n whole square. That will give us y is equals to n square p over 2 square is 4 and n square is n square. So n square and n square will cancel out and we will be left with p over 4. So we have just expressed y in terms of p, which is p over 4. Question number 12. A school recorded the number of absent students over a 50-day period. The results are given in the table. Write down the mode. Since 0 has the highest frequency, which is the number of days is the frequency, of course. So therefore mode will be 0. Then it says calculate the mean. That means we need to find the sum of the products and we need to divide it by the total number of days. So this will be 25 times 0 plus 15 times 1 plus 6 times 2, and of course we need to add all these values over 50. So simplifying it, we will get 40 over 50, which can be written as 4 over 5. We can multiply both of these numbers by 2 and we will get 8 over 10. So therefore, it will be 0.8. Question number 13. Triangle ABC is mapped onto triangle A prime B prime C prime by a rotation with center O through 110 degree clockwise. Draw and label triangle A prime B prime C prime. So this was the triangle which was given in the question. In order to draw this diagram, what we did, we first found 110 degree from this center and we placed the protector along the red line and we got this line to be 110 degree. Then we simply took the measurement of this point from center O and we drew an arc over here, and again keeping the length constant we drew an arc along this line over here. Again we measured the length from the center to the point A and we drew an arc over here, and again from this point along this line we drew another arc having the same length from here to here and we labeled it as A prime and this one was labeled as B prime. Then we again drew a line from this point to the point C and we placed the protector and we found 110 degree. So the angle between this line and this line is also 110 degree, and we drew a line. Then we drew an arc from O to C and we kept the length constant and drew another arc over here and labeled it as C prime. Then we simply connected all these points to form the triangle which we were required to draw. Question number 14. In the Venn diagram, shade the region which represents the subset A intersection B prime, B complement within brackets union C. So first let's look into B complement. B complement is all the region outside B. Since A is getting intersected with B complement, that means A intersection B complement will simply be this region, that is the common region for A and B complement. And now we simply just have to union it with C. So union C means we have to consider the whole C. Therefore the shaded regions are these. Then it says, in a group of 36 students, 23 study Spanish, 17 study French, 4 study neither Spanish nor French. By drawing a Venn diagram or otherwise, Find the number of students who study both Spanish and French. So this is the Venn diagram that I have drawn, and I'm considering this circle to be Spanish and this circle to be French. And since 4 study neither Spanish nor French, I can keep the 4 outside. And since we don't know what is the common number of students who study both Spanish and French, so I'm considering that to be as X. And since it says 70 study French, so just this portion should be 17 minus X, and this portion should be 23 minus X. So if I add all these values, it will be 23 minus X plus 17 minus X plus 4 should equal to the total number of students, which is 36. That will give us 44 minus X equals 36. So X will be 8. So these are the number of students who study both Spanish and French. Question number 15. Solve the simultaneous equations 3x plus y equals to 9 and 2x plus 3y equals to -8. So considering the first equation, I can rewrite it as y is equals to 9 minus 3x, and I can consider that to be as equation 1. And I'm considering this one to be equation 2. Substituting this equation 1 into equation 2, I will get 2x plus 3, 9 minus 3x equals to -8. So that will be 2x plus 27 minus 9x equals to -8. Simplifying it further, I will get minus 7x is equal to minus 8 minus 27. Or I can say minus 7x is equals to minus 35. If I divide both sides by -7, I will get x is equals to 5. So this is just the value of x. We also have to find the value of y. So I'm substituting this value of x into equation 1 again, and I will get y is equals to 9 minus 3 within brackets 5, and that will give us -6. Hence x is 5 and y is -6. Question number 16. Evaluate 3 square plus 3 to the power 1 and 3 to the power 0. 3 square is 9, 3 to the power 1 is 3, and 3 to the power 0 is 1. So therefore it will be 9 plus 3, 12, 12 plus 1 and 13. Then it says evaluate 4 over 3 whole within brackets to the power -2. And whenever we see there is a negative power for a fraction, we can simply flip the fraction to make the power positive. So that will be now 3 over 4 to the power 2. Since it's getting squared, I can say it is plus minus 9 over 16. Then it says simplify 16 y to the power 6 within brackets to the power half. So if I multiply the power with both of these, I will get 16 to the power half times y to the power 6 to the times power half. So 16 can be written as 4 square, and we have half as well over here, and this one can be simplified already. So 2 3s are 6, so it will be y to the power 3, and this will be 2 times 1 is 2, so it will be 4 to the power 1. Therefore the final answer will be 4y to the power 3. Question number 17. Some money is shared between Ali, Ben and Carl in the ratio 5:3:2. Ben receives $60. How much money is shared? I'm using proportion method to solve this question. Also, if I add these ratios, it will be 5 plus 3 plus 2, which is 10. The question is asking to find out the total amount. I'm considering that to be as x. So the total amount, the fraction for that will be 10 over 10, because that is the whole amount, and 60 is the amount which Ben receives. So the fraction for Ben should be 3/10 because Ben has a ratio of 3 and the total ratio is 10. So Ben's amount represents 3/10 and the total amount represents 10/10. Now we can simplify it further. Since the denominators of both of these fractions are the same, they will cancel out and we will just have 10/3. So x over 60 is equals to 10/3. Making x the subject will give us x is equals to 60 times 10/3, and 3 20s are 60, 20 times 10 is 200. So therefore, the total amount that was shared between them was $200. Then it says, express the ratio 3.5 hours is to 14 minutes in the form k is to 1. So first, let's convert the hours into minutes. So therefore, this will be 3.5 times 60. So what I have done over here, I'm first converting 3 hours into minutes. So 60 times 3 is 180 and half hour is 30. So 180 plus 30 is 210. So therefore, 3.5 hours is 210 minutes. Now, in order to express this in the form of k is to 1, I need to divide both of them by 14 so that this ratio on the right hand side becomes 1. So 3.5 hours is 210. So 210 divided by 14 will give us 15. That means 210 is to 14. When I divide both sides by 14, I will get 15 is to 1. So this will be my final answer. Question number 18. 4 cards are marked with the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. One card is chosen at random. A second card is then chosen at random from the remaining 3 cards. The sum of the numbers on the 2 chosen cards is calculated. Complete the table to show the possible outcomes. So this is the first card if you get to choose, and these are the second card. The reason why these are shaded is because if you pick the card which says the number 1, you will not get to pick it again because you have already picked it. And then you can only choose from 2, 3 and 4. So we simply have to now complete this table. So, and also since it says that the sum of the 2 numbers on the 2 chosen cards is calculated, so these are the results. So once we have picked the card with the number 1, the second card, if it is 2, then the sum will be 1 plus 2, which is 3. Or if the second card is 3, it will be 1 plus 3, which is 4. Or if the second card is 4, then the sum will be 1 plus 4, which is 5. Similarly, we need to fill up all these boxes which contains the sum of the 2 cards. Then it says, what is the probability that the sum is less than 2? Since our result shows none of the sum has a value of 2, therefore the probability is 0. Then it says, what is the probability that the sum is greater than 5? So for that, first we need to look into the numbers which are greater than 5. How many are there? So this, and these 4 numbers are greater than 5. And there are total outcomes. There are 12 total outcomes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the probability is favorable outcomes over total outcomes, which is 4/12. Simplifying it, we will get 1 over 3. So that is the probability. Question number 19. A box has a mass of 1.7 kilo. Correct to the nearest 0.1 kilo. Write down the lower bound for the mass of the box. So what we need to do, we have to divide this number by 2 to find the lower bound. So 0.1 divided by 2 is 0.05. So the lower bound will be 1.7 minus 0.05, which is 1.65. Then it says the box holds 100 jars. Each jar has a mass of 140 grams. Correct to the nearest 10 grams. Calculate the lower bound of the total mass of the box and 100 jars, giving your answer in kilograms. Since the mass of the jar has been corrected to the nearest 10 grams, that means we need to divide 10 by 2, and that will give us 5. So the lower bound of each jar, the lower bound for the mass of the each jar will be 140 minus 5, which is 135. And since there are 100 jars, there it will be 135 times 100, which is 13,500. Now this is in grams. If I want to convert it into kilo, I simply have to divide it by 1000. So 13,500 over 1000 will give me 13.5 kilogram. Now to find the total mass as the lower bound for the box and the 100 jars will be 13.5 plus we have already found the lower bound for the mass of the box, which was 1.65, and that will give us 15.15 kilogram. Question number 20. Solve the equation 2x minus 1 over 4 plus x minus 2 over 3 equals to 2. If we do the LCM for 4 and 3, we will get 12. Then we have to multiply 2x minus 1 with 3 and x minus 2 with 4. So then we can do cross multiply for 12 and 2. That will give us 24. And if we expand these brackets, we will get 6x minus 3 plus 4x minus 8. Simplifying it further, we will get 10x minus 11 equals to 24. Or we can say 10x is equals to 11 plus 24, which is 35. So x will be 3.5. Question number 21. During a storm, raindrops fall into a cylinder which stands on a horizontal ground. The cylinder was empty before the storm started. The cylinder has a radius 20 millimeter. Each raindrop is a sphere of radius 2 millimeter. After the storm, the depth of water in the cylinder is 16 millimeter. Calculate the number of raindrops that fell into the cylinder. So this is a situational diagram. This is the cylinder and this is a raindrop which has a radius of 2 millimeter and the cylinder has a radius of 20 millimeter. After the storm, the depth of the water in the cylinder is 16 millimeter. That means the height of the water level in the cylinder will go up by 16 millimeter. So for solving this, I'm finding the volume of the cylinder first, up to which the water has fell. So that will be pi r square h. The volume of the cylinder will be pi r square h, where r is the radius and we already know that is 20 and the height is 16. So simplifying it will give us 6400 pi. And the volume of each raindrop is 4 by 3 pi r cube, where the radius of the raindrop is 2 millimeter. Simplifying it, we will get 32 pi over 3. Now all we need to do is divide this volume by the volume of raindrops to find the number of raindrops that fell into the cylinder. So 6400 pi over 32 pi over 3 can be written as 6400 pi times the reciprocal of this fraction, which is 3 over 32 pi. Pi and pi will cancel out, and we can simplify 6432 by dividing both by 32. And this will be 32 times 2 is 64. Therefore, 32 times 200 will be 6400. So 200 times 3 will give us 600. So 600 raindrops fell into the cylinder. Question number 22. The diagram shows triangle ABC. Construct the locus of the points inside triangle ABC that are equidistant from A and B. So for this, we have to do the perpendicular bisector by considering these 2 points A and B. And since it said that we have to find the locus of points inside triangle ABC, although these are the arcs that has been drawn, these are the arcs that have been drawn to construct the perpendicular bisector, we must make sure that we do not draw our line of locus outside the triangle, because it's strictly mentioned that we have to draw the locus inside the triangle. So we will be placing the scale over here, but we will draw from this point of the triangle up to this point of the triangle. Then it says, construct the locus of points again inside triangle ABC that are equidistant from AB and BC. That means we just have to bisect the angle B, and for that, this will be the locus of the points. And of course, we must make sure that the locus of the points remain inside the triangle ABC. Then it says, on the diagram, shade the region inside triangle ABC which contains the points that are nearer to A than to B and nearer to BC than AB. So nearer to A than to B, that means it will be this whole region, because this is the perpendicular bisector for the point A and B. So nearer to A should be this whole region. Then it also says nearer to BC than AB. Nearer to BC means we have to consider this whole region, because this is the angle bisector of ABC, and this side is nearer to BC from this line. So therefore, the common region which satisfies both of these statements is this region. Question number 23. The diagram shows a square piece of card from which a triangle and two small squares are removed. So from this diagram, a triangle and two squares have been removed. All lengths on the diagram are in centimeters. Calculate the area of the shaded card. I have drawn the diagram again and labeled the lengths which was not here initially. So what I did, in order to find the shaded area, this triangle will have a height of 4 and the base will be 2 plus 1, which is 3. So therefore it will be half times 3 times 4. And then I have added this square, which is 2 times 2. Then I have added this rectangle, which is 2 times 1. Then again I have added this rectangle, which is 2 times 1. So simplifying it further, we will get 14 centimeters square. Then it says, calculate the perimeter of the shaded card. So for that, first we need to just find this length, and then we can simply keep on adding these outlines to find the value of the perimeter. So this length is a hypotenuse if we consider this to be a triangle. So we have 4 on this side, 4 units on this side, and 3 units on this side. So using the Pythagoras theorem, we can say the hypotenuse would be square root of 4 square plus 3 square, which will give us 16 plus 9, and 16 plus 9 is 25, and square root of 25 is 5. Then we simply added all the outlines, and then we got the perimeter to be 18 centimeters. Question number 24. In the diagram, A, B, C, D, and E lie on the circle with center O, and angle DAB is 34 degrees. We need to find X. So if we look into the angle X, we can see it is placed in the center. So we are using the logic angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. If you look at the points D and B, the angle O is getting subtended by these 2 points. At the same time, the angle A is also getting subtended from these 2 points, which are on the circumference. Therefore, we can say that angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. So 2 times 34 is 68. Then we need to find Y, which is this angle. If you just simply focus now on the quadrilateral A, B, C, D, you can see that it is a cyclic quadrilateral because all the vertices are on the circumference. Therefore, we know that opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral add to 180 degree. So therefore, Y plus 34 should be 180 degree as they are the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral. So Y should be 180 minus 34, which is 146. Then it says find Z. Now, in order to find Z, if you again look into the point D and B, from point D and B, angle DEB is getting subtended, and also from point D and B, angle DAB is also getting subtended. Therefore, they must be equal. Hence, Z is also 34. Then it says find T. To find T, if you consider the triangle A, E and B, if you just simply focus on this triangle, you can see that EB is the diameter because O is in the line EB. Therefore, EB must be the diameter, and we know that the angle in a semicircle is 90 degree. So, the angle opposite to the diameter for this triangle must be 90 degree. So, this angle BAE must be 90. Therefore, T should be 90 minus 34, which is 56 degree. Question number 25. In the diagram, the line 3y plus 2x equals to 13 meets the axis at A and B. Find the coordinates of A. So, in order to find the coordinates of A, we simply need to put x equals to 0 in this equation, which is the equation of this line. If x is 0, then this whole thing will be 0. So then we will have 3y is equals to 13. Therefore, y is equals to 13 over 3. Then it says the shaded region R is defined by 5 inequalities. 2 of these inequalities are x is less or equal to 6 and y is less or equal to 6. Write down the other 3 inequalities. So for this, first let's look into the equation 3y plus 2x equals to 13, which is this line. And since y is positive over here, so that means the shaded region is above the line, hence 3y plus 2x is greater or equal to 13. Also, the shaded region is after x equals to 1, hence it will be x is greater or equal to 1. Also, since the shaded region is above this horizontal line, which is y equals to 2, therefore it will be y is greater or equal to 2. Then it says the point P is in the shaded region R. Given that AP is as large as possible, write down the coordinates of P. So for AP to be as large as possible, I can think of first, if I place P over here, AP will have this length, which is definitely not the largest. Then if I place AP over here or AP over here, we can compare what are the difference in height and difference in length. So AP cannot be this line. If I put P over here, it won't be the greatest. Also, if I put P over here or here, it won't be the greatest. So all I need to figure out whether I can position the point P over here or here. If I place the point P over here, then I will have this height, which is a little bit more than 1, and the difference in the change in x values will be up to 6. But if I position P over here, then the height will be more than 2. But the change in x will be the same, which is 6. But since the change in y is greater over here compared to this, that means the hypotenuse, which will be the AP, will be larger if it is placed over here rather than here. Therefore, this should be the position where we can place P to have the greatest possible length of AP. And this coordinate should be 6, 2. Question number 26. Two sequences have 1, 3, 5 as their first 3 terms. In the first sequence, each term is 2 more than the term before it. Find an expression in terms of n for the nth term. So clearly this is an arithmetic progression where the first term is 1 and then we have n minus 1 and the common difference is 2. 3 minus 1 is 2, 5 minus 3 is 2. So expanding the bracket, I will get 1 plus 2n minus 2, which is equals to 2n minus 1. And that is the expression for the nth term. Then it says the kth term of this sequence is 841. Find the value of k. So we have already found the nth term. Now we simply need to place k in this equation and equal it as 841. So 2k minus 1 is the term which is 841. So 2k is 842. Dividing 842 by 2, I will get 421. So 421th term is 841. Then it says the nth term of the second sequence is this. So this is the expression for the second sequence. We need to find the fourth term of this sequence. So for this, we simply have to substitute 4 in n, and then we will get 2 to the power 4 minus 1, which is 3. 4 minus 1, 4 minus 4, so this will become 0. So this whole fraction will become 0. Therefore, it will be 2 cubed, which is 8. Then it says find the fifth term of this sequence. So this will be 2 to the power 5 minus 1 minus 5 minus 1 and 5 minus 4. So this will be 4 times 1, which is 4. 4 over 2 is 2. And 2 to the power 5 minus 1 is 2 to the power 4, which is 16. So it will be 14. Question number 27. The diagram shows the speed time graph of a car which slows down from 30 meter per second to 12 meter per second in 20 seconds and then continues at a speed of 12 meter per second. Find the retardation when t is equals to 10. Since the retardation is the same over here and over here because the gradient is the same, therefore I can use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 12 minus 30 over 20 minus 0, which is minus 18 over 20. If I divide both the numbers by 2, I will get 9 over 10. So it will be minus 0.9. But since we are finding the retardation, this should be positive 0.9. Then it says, find the distance traveled by the car between t equals to 0 and t equals to 20. That means we need to find the area of this trapezium between 0 to 20, where the length of the parallel sides should be this 12 and 30, and the difference between the parallel sides is 20. So it will be half times a plus b, which is 12 plus 30, times 20, which is 12 plus 30 is 42, times 2 tens are 20. So that will give us 420 meters. Then it says the distance traveled by the car between t equals to 20 and t equals to k is 60 meters. Find the value of k. So they have already provided us with the distance, which is actually the area under the graph. All we need to do is find the value of k. We also know the height of this rectangle, which is 12. So we can say that k minus 20, this difference is k minus 20, of course. So it should be k minus 20 times the height, which is 12, should be equal to the area, which is 60. So k minus 20 is 5 because 60 over 12 is 5. And therefore k will be 20 plus 5, which is 25. So this should be 25. And that will be all for now. I will see you in the next video.